Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been doing some work to my 1972 F-100. I want to fill you guys in on what I've been doing and my plans with it moving forward. So let's go fill you guys in. Hey guys, like I said, been doing a little bit of work to this guy. Been cleaning it up, doing a lot of cleaning and detailing, a lot of boring stuff. And sorry I haven't filmed a lot of it, mainly because when I'm doing stuff like this, I get kind of scattered brain and I work on this and I see that and I want to work on that. And it's when I'm like that, it's really hard to film. So I'm pretty bad about that. But I want to fill you guys in with what I have been doing, and hopefully I'll film some more and show you guys how that's all moving along. But first off, I wanted to show you the outside. If you remember on the original video on this, I said there was a lot of paint problems with this truck. I believe it is the original paint, but it had a lot of paint problems with it, like I said, and the paint didn't look good to me at all. I mean, it was really good paint, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of problems with it. But what I did is I actually got a buffer, and I actually polished the paint, and I did a little bit of cut work on the brown down here. I was really nervous about doing any cutting on the yellow paint up here because I know the top paint's going to be a lot thinner and I don't want to burn through it. A lot of guys, they get these trucks like this, they have a little bit of faded paint, and they just go to town with the cut and buff, and they, a lot of times on these edges, like right here on the hood, they burn through that, and I just think that looks horrible. I'd much rather it be the old chalky paint. But anyway, what I did, I got this side all done. I ran out of compound. I couldn't do the other side finish yet, but the brown here, I did just a light cut, real light cut, and then a polish over on top of that. And I need to wipe it down. I washed it. I cleaned the other side under the truck since I've done this, so it might have a little bit of dirt and water spots on it. But the yellow came back. It's got a lot of shine left in it. If I go over it again, I could probably get some more shine out of it. But this brown here was really what I thought popped the most. It was kind of dull, and a lot of the stuff that was making it look bad was actually leftover wax residue from someone waxing it before and not getting all the stuff off of it. So it had a bunch of the white waxy residue on it. So got all that cleaned off, and it actually turned out really nice. Back in here where the rock chips are, you can still see them, but they're, I don't want to say hidden, but they're not as visible now, I guess. They're obviously still there because polishing isn't going to get rid of rock chips, but they're hidden a lot more, and you don't see them as they don't pop out like they were before. And on this yellow here, the yellow didn't pop as good as the brown did, so you can still see some of the rock chips like right here. But like I said, you step back, 5 feet, and I think it looks pretty darn good. The brown on top turned out really nice as well. This was pretty faded looking, and the shine just came out, really nice, clean, original paint. I was really happy with the way the roof came out. The roof itself up here, where you can't really see it, but it was really chalky as well. So all I did was polish the roof. Like I said, I didn't want to burn through, especially this edge right here. You gotta be real careful. I didn't want to burn through that, so all I did was polish on that. I didn't do any cut work on it. I also did the hood. I probably need to work on the hood a little bit more. It's kind of a little bit more on the dull side compared to the rest of the body. Obviously the hood's going to get more sunlight, so it's going to be a little bit more sun-baked. Right there, there's some faded paint still. I could probably work on that a little bit more, but like I said, I want to be real careful because I don't want to burn through it. Under the hood here, I had this all looking really nice, and then I realized I need to clean the engine better. So I took it out and I steam cleaned the engine with degreaser and everything and tried to get the engine real clean. And then it kind of grimed up the stuff on here I've been working on. So I'll have to re-detail this, but that's all right. I'll hopefully do a better job the second time. It'll look even better. But these hood hinges I thought turned out really nice. See, they're the original gray. And I did look up a truck I know that only has like 800 miles, and it was the same gray on these hood hinges. So I think that is correct. Usually these things are all rusted out, so I don't know if that gray is just the bare metal or if it's actually paint. I do not know that for sure, but this is correct, and they turned out really nice. And even the bolt heads, like I said in the other video, the zinc colored, the gold colored bolts are just, I love seeing that because you don't see that ever. And right up here, how nice those bolts are. And these right here on the hood latch, you know, things like that really tells you the condition of this truck and how well it was taken care of. The radiator has been replaced. It is not an original radiator, so that has been replaced, although it is nice that it's the original style and not like a plastic tank one or a big aluminum one that doesn't look right. I have the battery tray out of here because I was cleaning it because it had the previous owner, probably to keep it from rusting away, he smeared a bunch of grease on the bottom of it. So I was trying to clean all that stuff off. But under the battery here, you can see there's actually some water left over from cleaning this, but you can actually see how nice and clean this inner fender is. This is like one of the first spots to rust out because leaking batteries and stuff, those old batteries. So really nice to see this awful clean inner fender here, no rust at all. The paint unfortunately did take a beating on this side by the battery, which is, you know, often the case and why they often rust out. So I haven't decided if I'm going to try to paint this or leave it as is in nice original condition. If I start painting stuff, then it becomes not original in my opinion. So I haven't decided that on that yet. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, if I should paint up this inner fender here and kind of clean it up, or if I should leave it as is. Down here on this side, I haven't started cleaning this up yet, so hopefully that will clean up a little bit better. The engine itself, I debated pulling the engine out and detailing it and cleaning it and repainting it, but I kind of, for now, I decided to leave it in place just so it's all original and I'm not messing with that. And I don't know, if I pull it out, then I'll probably want to rebuild it and I'll do all that stuff. And you know, where do you stop? But I want to see how good I can get it without taking it out, and I think I'll be happy. I got to redo the air cleaner obviously because it had the wrong air cleaner on it, and I also replaced the carburetor, if you noticed. Here's the old carburetor that was in it. It had the wrong carburetor on it. If you look, the tag on this one, it's D7TECTA, which D7 would mean this was like a 77 or up carburetor. I think it was off like a 351M or a 400 is what I think it is. It's a Autolite Motorcraft 2150, which it's very similar to the correct carburetor, but it has some more emission stuff, like it has this thing right here, and I'm not sure everything that's different about them. But that one wasn't running too great. It needed some work, probably needed rebuilt. The accelerator pump was leaking, obviously, because they all are leaking on old trucks like this. Since it was the incorrect carburetor, I went ahead and got a Autoline, I think is what it is, remanufactured carburetor. This is actually 2100 style, which would be correct for this truck. So I just got this thing sitting on here. I don't have the linkages and everything hooked up quite yet, and so I put that remanufactured carburetor on it, so it had the correct one on it, and we can get this thing running tip-top shape. The air conditioner, I haven't tried recharging it yet, but that's on the to-do list. And the clutch on the compressor does work, so that's nice. I broke the wire when I was cleaning it. I got to splice that wire back together. Did a lot of cleaning on the firewall too. I thought the firewall cleaned up really nice. There's a little bit of griminess to it, but I think it's pretty nice without taking everything apart and like buffing the firewall. I think that's as good as I can get it. So that's always nice to see. Another thing I did was cleaned the underside. Of course, I'll probably show you guys more when it's on the lift, but the underside cleaned up really nice. You can see how nice this black paint is on the frame. Usually that's all gone. It's kind of gone on this side right here, but it's really hard to show you guys when I'm on the ground like this with a camera. But the cab mounts here, I'm going to try to clean. See that? There's some, you know, griminess on the paint on the underside here. I'm going to have to scrub that and see if I can get that all to clean up. But we'll do that when it's on the lift. So I haven't had to do any cleaning to the inside because it's so nice. I do have the floor mat off of here. So this is that original floor, the original floor mat that's in perfect shape. So I'm going to do a little bit of detailing in here. I might remove the seat and clean under the seat. I'm not quite sure yet. It'll depend on how good I can get it. You know, it's dirty under behind the seat and everything, like an old truck should be, I guess. But we'll get after that. On this side, if you can tell, I haven't done this brown part right here. See, here's some, that's actually from me, but there's some streaks right here of some previous wax jobs, or it might have even been a polish job. But a lot of that, and some of this watermarks, but a lot of that came off on the brown part here and made that really clean up. So I haven't gotten this side done because, like I said, I ran out of polish. I did get the roof right here done, so I have done the roof on this side. And in here in the back, I cleaned out the bed, and it turned out amazing. Let me go ahead and show you guys that. Look at that bed, that bed floor. I have yet to see any truck with this nice a bed floor that is rolled through the shop here. Now, I've come close. We have some trucks that are close to this, but they have a little bit more scratches and stuff in the bed. This one's just absolutely perfect. Fortunately, the tailgate didn't get covered up, so it has some love marks on the tailgate that don't match the rest of the bed. But in here, see how nice these bed bolts are. The wheel tubs there, I'm going to try to polish those and try to get rid of those scuff marks and everything, and see how if I can get those cleaned up. Same with over here, the stuff that's on top of the paint. See if I can get that cleaned up so it looks a little bit nicer. But even back over here, this section of the bed where the filler neck goes down for the auxiliary fuel tank, how nice and clean that cleaned up. I was really happy with that. You know, that looks like you've restored it almost, besides, you know, the marks on it and stuff over the years. But finding an original truck and original paint when that kind of shape is pretty hard to do. Here's the bed bolt on this one. Has that hex head on it, or I guess Phillips head. That's for removing that bolt, or because that fuel tank is under here and you can't get to that when you're moving the bed. I think that's not a square. You know, these are like castle head nuts where they're square. I think this one can spin. I think it's been a minute since I've taken one apart like that, but you know, that's different because it has that auxiliary fuel tank under here. There's that sticker for the air conditioner. I thought that was really neat. I don't think I'm planning on taking this topper off, so you're not gonna be able to see that unless you're inside here like that, but I thought that was neat anyways. So anyway, guys, that's what I've been doing to it. I think I'm going to pull it in the shop here, and I'm going to have the wheels painted so we can get those painted. And I'm going to get a little bit bigger tires and put on there so they're just a little bit bigger, because those kind of look a little puny to me. But I'm going to get this thing pulled in the shop. I got to pull the wheels off of it and finish doing that carburetor swap and a little bit more detailing, and I'll fill you guys in along the way. So let's go get after it. Well, guys, since I had this stuff here, I wanted to show you the buffing stuff that I've been using. This right here is a fender that I did testing on. This isn't original paint. It was painted at some point down the line, but it was old and oxidized. If you can see here, here's the side I didn't do, so I could see the difference. But this I did the cut and polished it out after I cut it, so that turned out really nice. And this gave me the confidence to do that truck, because this is the first time I've done anything like this. So I was really careful and tried to do a really good job on this so I could learn the ins and outs of running that buffer. And I thought this fender turned out perfect, so I wanted to show you that, guys. Unfortunately, it's rusted out down here, so it's not in very good shape. Otherwise, it would look like a really nice fender, wouldn't it? Here's the stuff I've been using. I had to get some more. Chemical Guys is who I went through to get this. The V36 is that cut and polish, I think is what they call it. It's a real light cut. It's not very aggressive. I don't want to get very aggressive at all with this old paint, because like I said, you can burn through it pretty easy. And this is the polish I was using, the V38 polish. That stuff was working pretty good for me. Here's the pads I was using. I believe the white was with the cut cut and polish, and then the blue was with the final polish, and that's what I was using with that. It was working pretty good for me. I'm going to see if I can brighten this bumper up a little bit. That's why I got it off of the truck. So and I had to polish the stone deflector that's underneath the bumper there, so I have yet to do that, but that's why I have the bumper off. Just wanted to show you that. The buffer itself is actually over here. Here's the buffer itself, just a I think they call it a torque. This is from Chemical Guys too. Just a variable speed random orbital polisher. So that's what I'm using. Hey guys, quick break from the truck we're working on today. I want to give a shout out to our new official parts supplier for the channel. That is Complete Performance. They're out of Jasper, Texas. It's a family-owned grassroots business. I've known them for the longest time. They've been big into the OBS truck market for the longest time. They recently reached out to me and said, hey, we want to get into the 67 to 79 Ford truck market and we want to help you out with some parts. So they've done just that. So let's go show you some of the parts they've supplied so far. Here's some of the parts they've supplied so far for the channel. This is a 69 aluminum grill. This is going on our Harbor Blue Highboy. You'll get to see that installed a little bit later on the channel. It's going to look great on that truck. Plus a bunch of other small items like hood hinges, battery trays, door latches, window seals, door seals, all that kind of stuff. Go check them out. Their website is cpaddicts.com. I'll link that in the description below. And go check them out and give them some love. Support the people that support this channel, guys. Back to the video. Well, guys, got the truck in the shop here. It's been a few days since the last time I had the camera out. I have the wheels off of the truck right now. They're getting blasted and coated, so that's why there's no wheels and tires on the thing. I've been in here working on the engine. I think I have the engine all ready to go. Still have to do, I'm going to change out the spark plugs. I haven't changed those out yet, but got a lot of the detailing work done on the inside here, and I thought it just turned out fantastic. Even down here on the power steering pump, how nice that thing looks. This stuff just cleaned up really nice, and this is all original paint. I didn't do any touch-up work as far as painting on anything. The only paint work I did was that air cleaner. I did sandblast and paint a new air cleaner for it, because if you remember, it had the 78, 79 like aluminum style air cleaner on it. So I got that all changed up. I still have to fix the breather, because the breather hose is in a different spot on that other air cleaner, so I got to shorten that hose up. But got a new air cleaner on it with the 392 Venturi sticker on it, and Autolite sticker. And I put this sticker on here. I'm not sure if this is correct for a 72. I just really like it, and I was real excited that I actually found this sticker, because I have a this came off of a 69, my Harbor Blue 69, if you remember that truck. And this is the original air cleaner on it. You know, it has the early style sticker on the air cleaner, but it has this. It had this remnants of that sticker on the snout here. And I found this when I was ordering stickers. I found that sticker on it, and I just think it looks cool, so I put it on there. But like I said, I'm not sure if that's actually correct for the 72. I know that 69 had it, but anyway, a lot of the detailing on this truck has turned out fantastic. I thought, you know, like the under the hood. Oh, we're talking under the hood. I got the hood light working, so that thing's pretty cool. Let's see if I can get this thing. It's got a mercury switch in it. As you go down, it shuts the light off. You open the hood up and the light comes on. So that was really cool. All I had to do is put a bulb in it and it started working. But I changed out the battery tray. The original one actually was not that bad. I sandblasted and coated. There it is. I sandblasted and coated it. That's the original. And I thought, well, that just doesn't look good. I should have just left it alone. But I put it in here and it just didn't look right. So I got this new shiny one in here. So it's got a new one and some new bolts. Put some new bolts on it. But so that's new, but I mean, it didn't need it. But I think it looks better. Right here we have the missing paint. Did put a little engine dressing on it, and it kind of hides that bright rust, so it's not as noticeable. But there is some paint missing there. But like I said, the only paint work I did was the air cleaner, and I did paint the hot air tube, or whatever you call that pulls hot air from the manifold. Turning out really nice. I guess I could start it up for you guys. I fixed it had an exhaust manifold leak. I'll just go ahead and show you. I think these, originally there was no gasket and just a heat shield, and I think that's how they came from Ford. There's some, it says C2. I don't know if that means 62 part number on this thing, but this is a Ford heat shield, and it was blown out right there and stuff, and right there it was leaking. So that's why the thing was leaking. But I did get a new gasket in there and fix the leak. Let's go start it up for you guys so you can see it run. The high idle is working, so it might be kind of idling fast. No, it kicked down, I think. Yeah, it's just running super smooth and no exhaust tick anymore. Sounding really good. I do, it has a glass pack on it and the exhaust isn't very good. I might redo the whole exhaust. We're still up in the air on that. Running pretty good. I still have yet to fix the brake light. I'll show you my plans with that thing. I've been messing with one over here trying to get it all kind of figured out. Right here is the valve assembly, or the distribution block, and there's a sensor that plugs in. What did I do with it? I don't know what I did with it. I got too much junk going on. But there's a little valve that screws in here, and it's just a up and down switch and triggers that light. And there's a rod in here that floats back and forth. You know, this is your front and rear. I don't know if that's correct, but one of the two is front and rear. And if you have a problem, like say your rear is losing fluid and you run out of fluid, your pressure will drop on this side, and that the higher pressure on this side will push that valve over, and it's got a cam on it and it pushes that switch up. But I'm guessing, or I was doing some reading on this, and I guess you have to reset these after they're tripped. They don't reset themselves by themselves. So there's actually a resetting procedure that Ford has. I'm going to read that and try to show you guys what I end up doing on this. But I haven't figured it out quite yet because I've been doing all the engine stuff. But that is next on the agenda. I got some new shocks for it because those are probably the original shock absorbers and they're not doing anything. So I'm going to put some new shocks on it. I got to inspect the brakes and stuff like that. So it's moving right along. So I'm going to get after some of the other stuff, and I'll pull the camera back out when I got some more stuff to show you guys. Well, guys, getting a little further along in this truck, doing a lot of cleaning. I did some cleaning on the interior here. Really, it just needed a dusting. There wasn't much I had to do. Just cleaned, dusted off the dash pad and all the stuff in here. You know, I just had some dust on it. Overall, it cleaned up really well. See, here's that floor mat. It's kind of dark in here, but you get the idea. Also cleaned up back behind here, the fuel tank area. It cleaned up really nice as well. On the bed, I actually did a little bit of buffing work inside the bed here, and got a lot of those scuff marks and everything out of the bed. I thought it turned out really nice. There's a little bit of scuff marks left on the wheelhouses there, but a lot better than they were. I didn't get too aggressive with it, just try to get a lot of it knocked off. The tailgate didn't clean up that great, but a lot of it just, the paint's actually gone, so you can't do anything there. But working up here, wanted to show you guys, there's actually still a charge in the AC system. I hooked up the gauges up to the compressor, and I was going to add a couple cans and see if we can get that thing working. And there's actually, it's only like 9 pounds, but there's still a charge in there. When I hooked them on, you could hear it hiss, and there's actually still a charge in there. So we'll just top this thing off, and hopefully it'll be good to go. So I'm going to give that a shot and see how we get along. Well, guys, I got the AC system all topped off. Just took a little bit to get it charged up to where it needed to be, and it's working fantastic. So I wanted to show you guys. Let's go in here and see if we can get it fired up. There we go. I got a temperature gauge in there. It's a nice variable speed on the blower fan. While that's cooling that off, let me. There, the clutch is working on the AC compressor. It's spinning right now. There, it just shut off. Let's see if it's cool off any. No, it's down to, what is it? Just over 40. I had it down to about 31 the other day when I had it running. May not have the temperature turned down enough, but it's blowing pretty cold. So that's working pretty good. I'm happy to see it. I still haven't fixed the light, the brake light. I was gonna wait until I had the thing on the lift. Wait until the wheels and tires get back, and we'll get this thing on the lift and start on the underside. But since this thing is original paint, and I wanted to be able to verify that, especially for the new owner, so they know for sure, I got this paint thickness gauge. And what this does, it actually reads the thickness of the paint down to the metal, so the paint and the primer. And it would be clear coat on a newer vehicle, but you know, this is a single stage paint, so there's no clear coat on it. But I wanted to show you guys the paint readings on it. Right there, 3.29 mils, and that would be pretty common for an original paint truck. We have a couple here, and they're all about this range. So I've gone all around the truck, and it's all about the same. That one's a little bit thicker right there, 4.07, 3.25. Here on the hood, 2.79. It's a little bit thinner. So that is a good indication this truck is original paint, because anytime you have a repaint or anything like that, this number will be a lot higher, something like 8, 9 mils, maybe even 10 if it's a really thick paint job, especially with a clear coat. So that being so thin, makes me think 100% that it's original paint truck, which I had a pretty good indication without this. But here on the brown, 2.6. There's some of the brown that was a little bit thinner. Yeah, there's 1.60. So some of the brown is a little bit thinner. I did do some cut work on the brown. I didn't do any cut work on the yellow because I was actually worried about the yellow being thinner, being on top. So I don't know if that's the reason, or if the way they painted them. My guess is it's the way they painted the two-tone. They painted the brown first and then taped it off and painted the yellow. So the brown has less layers of paint on it, so it's thinner, because it's pretty consistently thinner. See, 1.79. It's pretty consistently thinner all the way around the truck. There's a little bit thicker on the back. Might have been the way I was holding the meters. Yeah, there's one. Might have been I didn't have that square up to the. Yeah, I don't think I had it square up to the panel. But anyway, that's what I'm working with right now. Actually, you know, in here, I know this for sure is original paint. Let's just see what this is. 1.40, 2.41. So yeah, just kind of pretty in the same range, pretty close to the same range. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you that paint meter and those paint readings. I thought it was pretty neat to be able to play around with that. I took that around to all my trucks I have and was playing around with it and seeing what the paint thicknesses are and stuff. And you could see instantly if something was repainted, because it would be way higher. So that's a cool tool I'll take with me in the future, especially when I'm going to look at trucks like this. So I'll have that in my arsenal I can deploy if I see a nice truck I'm wondering if it's original paint or not. So that tool will be awesome to have in there. But anyway, guys, I'm going to continue working on this thing. I think I'm pretty much done with everything right now. I guess I could show you all the parts that are waiting for when we get it on the lift. Once I get the wheels back and get the tires mounted. I have new coil springs, some Moog progressive rate coil springs, so we can get the front end picked up just a little bit higher, because I did get some bigger tires. I wanted to get the look back to this truck, get that sag look out of it, and get those little bitty tires off of it. I got some, since we're doing coil springs, I got radius arm bushings, and also got shocks front and rear, some new Monroe shocks for that. I got some gear oil here. I'm going to change the rear end oil on this thing, since it's probably never been changed, or if it has, it's been a long time. And I also got some really nice stainless hubcaps. This truck had painted hubcaps on it, and they were in decent shape. They had a little bit of rust showing. Some of the paint on the black paint was missing on some of them. So I got those stainless hubcaps. They're going to look really nice with those new wheels. So I'm going to get this thing up in the air and start detailing the chassis and checking the brakes and doing that front suspension work, and this thing will be ready to go. So I'm gonna, once I get those wheels back, we'll get this thing on the lift, and I'll poke around on the underside and show you guys. Well guys, the wheels and tires aren't done yet, so I mounted up some other tires and used one of the spare, and got 4 tires and wheels mounted up so I can move this thing over here to lift and get started on it. So I have already have the new coil springs, shock absorbers, and radius arm bushings all mounted up. So all that went together pretty nice. And as you can see under here, how nice and clean everything is here. I tried to clean everything real good while I was under here, and even up in here, there's a little bit of rust, or just surface rust is all it is, but super clean right here in the cab mount. Just how clean all this stuff is. Did a lot of cleaning work on that to make it look that good. Here on the other side, same story. New springs, shocks, and the bushings back there. Just really clean. Even you can still see the gold colored zinc coating on the bolts there, which under here is probably pretty rare. Up in here, these are all rusty because this is where the tire throws rocks and all the road debris. So all that's been kind of chewed up over the years. I did put a new bumper on it. The old one had some issues with it cosmetically, so I got a replacement bumper, put a new bumper on it, and I also got a set of matching front and rear Colorado license plates with the 1972. I thought that was pretty neat. I thought that was a nice touch to add to the truck to sell, just kind of a novelty. It's not going to be registered under that, so unless maybe it goes back to Colorado and they allow vintage plates, I don't really know. But under here, see all that black paint on the frame still? How nice and clean that is. Usually that's all far gone. Over here, you can see how nice, I didn't paint this. This is the way it was. And even back up under here, I noticed that there's a paint marker there, a crown, there's X on the frame rail. I don't really know what that means, but that was on there probably from the factory. And I've been doing some cleaning up under here. This was all pretty dirty. Like up in here, I still have to do some more. I'm going to take it out and do some more cleaning with the pressure washer and get more of that grime off, but it's just perfect underneath all that grime. Same story up in here on the transmission tunnel. Just some grime from the transmission and everything still. I need to do some cleaning there. Up in here, see those brake lines and everything, how nice and bright those lines are. Usually those are all rusted up on trucks. That fuel line and that brake line's all bright galvanized still. All of these brake lines are all nice and bright. Really nice shape under here. Still a little grimy. Hopefully I get all that cleaned up. Now back here on the third member, it's painted the orangish yet red oxide kind of color, like the new process transmissions are. The 9-inch third members were painted the same. There's the tag for it, 350 gears. And there's even a paint marking up here, or a crown marking, I guess. It says 16 or 16. I don't really know what that designates, but it's cool that it's still there. Got new shocks on the back, and right now I'm working on the parking brake cable. This one here was looked like something snagged the wire that cools around it, and it was all messed up and bent right here. So I'm replacing that with this one here. It's another one, a good one I have that I pulled off of something. And had to do that, I had to take the axle out and access the brakes here so I could get the arm right here where the parking brake actuates. And under here you can see that someone did the brakes recently, which I think the previous owner told me he went through all the brakes, but he's just telling me so much stuff I can't remember for sure. But this settles that debate. Brakes have been gone through pretty recently. Shoes in real good shape. All the hardware was replaced, and the wheel cylinder is replaced, so that's good to see. I won't have to go through all the brakes, which the brakes work good anyway. But I'm going to get that parking brake cable replaced, and then I'm going to take this back outside and try to get a little bit more of the grime cleaned off of it with the steam cleaner. And then she's almost ready to sell. I think I'm going to see about having the exhaust redone. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's still in, it's not rusted out. It's still in good shape. It just has the surface rust, and it's kind of not really pretty. and it has this old glass pack muffler that actually necks down smaller than the pipe. I think that's 2.5 up there, and it necks down to 2-inch here, so it's not doing any favors. So we might look into replacing that, at least from the Y pipe back. But for now, I'm just going to carry on with detailing and cleaning, and I'll show you guys when it gets finished and see how it turns out. Well guys, yesterday afternoon I got a call from our blaster and painter. All my stuff is done up there. This is the cab and bed for my Forestry Service highboy. We'll talk about that stuff in a future video, but that means our wheels are done. Right here, this is how they turned out. We have a whole bunch of wheels. These are the 8-lug wheels for our F-250 builds. And there's some more wheels in these boxes, but the half-ton wheels are under here. Let me get these uncovered, and I'll show you guys. Well guys, here's the wheels for that half-ton I'm doing. Ended up going with Corinthian white on these, just a little bit off-colored white. Not quite as creamy as Wimbledon white, I don't think, but still a little bit creamy. I think it's pretty close match to the original color. I'm not sure if it is the original color, but I think they'll look great on there either way. So got these wheels here, and I got the tires in out here. Here's the tires we're going to put on it, just an all-terrain tire. It is a 39-50-15, kind of a limited selection on tires right now. This was the this is what I ended up going with. It's a little bit taller than I wanted, but I think it'll look good on there, give it a little bit beefier look. You know, those little bitty car tires that were on it were kind of a little puny looking, so these will be a lot beefier for sure. And they are a load range C, a 6-ply tire, so they're a lot more heavy duty, more of a truck tire than a car tire. So I'm gonna get these things mounted up, and I guess we'll see how they fit on the truck. Well guys, as you can see here, I finally got the wheels back, and got them back from painting, and I got the new tires mounted up. We went with 39-50-15 tires, some all-terrain tires, load range C, 6-ply, so they're a little bit more beefy, kind of more truck-like tire. So I think those look really great, and the paint on the wheels turned out fantastic. Right here I have it next to the original spare, so if you can kind of tell, the paint color is very close, if not exact. You know, this is 50-year-old paint, where this is brand new paint, but it's still very, very, very close. You know, way closer than I was expecting to get. So real happy with how that turned out. I actually have one mounted on the truck over here on the lift. So I'll give you guys a little look. Of course, it's hanging down. They don't have weight on it because I only have one of the tires on it, but that's how it looks. And that tire gives it a lot beefier stance. I think a lot bigger tire than those little 215 car tires that were on it. Also have the new hubcaps on it. That whole package I think is just going to look great and really dress up this truck. But I'm going to finish mounting up the rest of these tires. I got a few more things to button up while the truck is on the lift, and then once I get all that done, we'll take it outside and I'll show you guys the finished project. So let's get after it. Well guys, as promised, here it is, finished product. We have the new wheels and tires on there, and I of course had to put the hubcaps on it. I think it just looks awesome. You see what I mean with these bigger wheels, giving it a meaner stance, kind of more of a truck look. Those little bitty dinky car tires that were on that thing, I think just kind of made it look too puny for me. These all-terrain tires gives it just a little bit more meat there. I think it really changes the look of the truck. A lot of times the tires really do set off the look of a truck. We had these 39-50-15s on there. I thought this thing turned out really nice. I still have a little bit of detailing to do. I'm out here, I was doing some test photos. You know, make sure I get the photos just right. Had the bed up here, trying to figure out the best way to photograph this bed, because it's really hard because it's pretty shaded in here. I don't know if I'm going to have to put some artificial light in here or something, but working with the settings on the camera, trying to capture the bed the best. But man, this thing really turned out great. You know, here's the that original spare in here. Well, maybe not the original tire, but at least the original I thought this thing just turned out fantastic. That polish work I did on the paint really helped give it some shine, although it wasn't bad to begin with. It really was pretty easy going. And of course, under the hood, turned out fantastic. We painted that air cleaner because it had the wrong air cleaner on it, and just did cleaning on everywhere else, and everything just turned out great. I thought, you know, that paint on the inner fenders there looks fantastic. But anyway, guys, be looking for this truck in the future. I'm probably going to be doing a Bring a Trailer auction. I have a few guys that are looking for trucks I'm going to talk to about it, but I think I want to do a Bring a Trailer auction just to showcase this truck and show it off, because that's fun, you know. So, and I love taking pictures for that Bring a Trailer auction. It's fun getting into all the details and taking pictures and everything, and showing off the truck. Well, if I decide to do that, we'll be doing an overview video on it that will be on this channel. It'll be a little bit different than my normal videos, just like I did on the other trucks I sold. To be an overview video with driving impressions and stuff like that, just for the auction. But if I do that, it'll be on this channel, so you guys can be looking out for that if you want to see more on this truck. But anyway, guys, let me know how you thought this truck turned out. What do you think about it? Let me know down in the comments below. Like this video if you like this truck. Subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.